just come across your pec. One of the things, like I said, in the beginning phases, that somebody may just be trying to restore some pain-free range of motion, or just get a little water massage in there. And so we'll get them in the hot tub and just kind of massaging that area with the water. It tends to make a huge difference as far as their pain relief and again, just restoring some range of motion. So we'd start out this way and then progress into our exercises that we would do with the shoulder. On land or in the training room, they're very hesitant to do it. It seems very mechanical as they're working pendulums, but as we get them into the water, they feel some more support, and so they feel more at ease doing the pendulums in here. So I'm just going to have you do some pendulums in the water, just working small zeros, going to big zeros, and then you can start doing some patterns, going X to X. Just doing a real smooth. So as they're working these pendulums, they're actually getting some motion in the shoulder joint, which is going to help bathe that joint, nourish the joint, and also help with a quicker recovery. The longer that joint stays without motion, the longer it's going to take to rehab that. And so if we can get them in here working these types of range of motion, the better it's going to, faster it's going to work for us. Okay. So after we restore some of that basic motion in there, then we're going to start working specific muscle groups. So I want you to do an extension of the shoulder. Stand below 90 so we're not impinging anything, and that he's able to work in that. And we'll incorporate in some abduction, adduction. So he's coming across and out. So all the motions we would be doing, strengthening motions that we would be incorporating out on land, we're going to do in here. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll even incorporate some horizontal abduction, adduction. So he's going to come across the chest. Now this one tends to be a little bit painful out on land, doing horizontal adduction with an AC separation, but in the water they tend to be able to do this without as much pain. I don't know if it's just because of the buoyancy or the reasoning behind it, but they actually say it feels a lot better doing it inland or in the water than they do on land. And so then we'll also do some rotator cuff, internal, external rotation with them. So I'm just working that in and out. Resistance with them. I like to use this yellow hand buoy. And so again, we'll start with internal, external rotation. So it's going to add some resistance to them as they're working this. We can also do our horizontal adduction, abduction. You can actually see the added resistances they're using in there. And then doing our flexion extension. So working through this, through the water, makes it a nice fluid movement. You don't have any jerking and so what I want you to do is I turn on the jet here. I want you doing internal and external rotation against the jet. So you'll be facing that direction. So you see they're getting some concentric, eccentric work as he pulls that in against the jet. He's getting some concentric, and then as he comes back through, he's got to resist that, and so he's getting some eccentric work in there. This is a great way to work that range of motion. And like I said, you need to do it on yourself before you do it on your athlete, but you'll feel that shoulder girdle muscles working to do this. And so it's just another phase of resistance. I feel like if they can do this in the water, then we can progress them into the weight room, starting with pulleys. go ahead and try some horizontal adduction, abduction with that. And so he's coming across. And so that's really going to work that pec concentrically and eccentrically. And so we'll have them do like 3 sets of 15, 3 sets of 20 with each one of these. If that's too much, or if any of these are painful, we'll back off. And so kind of what I talked about too is you can take some Theraland, working through the range of motion, throwing motion for quarterbacks, pitchers, something like that, using the Theraland. And again, they feel a lot more comfortable. He's kind of standing right now. You can actually have him kind of kneel down in there. And there you go. And now just bring it across. Good. So you're getting more water in there. And so they can work through kind of that pitching or throwing range of motion while they're in there. And again, just helps incorporate that, hey, I can do this pain-free in here. I can do it pain-free out on land. System to do it. I think that's the Anterior Cruciate machine before. So, do the schools let you use that machine or whatever? AC joint sprains. I don't know a football team in the country that doesn't have one probably at least every week. And so, you know, again, we just go in and use these protocols to rehab back these athletes. And the 2 cases I spoke about, both returned to play within a week, and you know, continued playing. And I'm just a big believer in hydrotherapy. I see the function of it and the way that it's allowed athletes to get back onto the field quicker and you know, functioning at their performance level where we need them to be. And so it really wasn't a question with him because I'd seen, you know, the results of it in the past. Almost kind of immediately. I mean, once we got through that 48-hour phase of making sure we were controlling the bleeding and some of the pain with modalities and ice and stuff in the training room. Again, like I said, it was dramatic, the change of doing pendulums in land, you know, where it's very mechanical because they're afraid to release these muscles up here. To allowing them to get into the water and almost a just relaxed feeling, and them describing, oh, this feels so much better in the water than it does doing it standing off a table and letting it hang there. And so the results for range of motion and motion in the joint was very dramatic. You know, we document their rehab protocol as far as what exercises they do and what things that they've done for the day for our medical records. And I guess the thing that we look at is progress, noting their progress is where they're at on the field, when they're able to practice, when they're able to do those types of things. And so I guess that's the way I kind of chart the progress of it. So that first 48 to 72 hours, he felt his pain decreased, his range of motion increased. We got rid of a lot of the